Welcome to the channel, and in today's video I want to share with you how I'm going to refurbish and reseal my leaky aquarium. I've never done this before and I want to share with you the process I'm going to take. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. But go ahead and stay tuned. This is the 10-gallon aquarium that I recently discovered leaking into my floor, and I'm going to attempt to reseal this and show you the process. This leak was coming from this bottom right here, and there was one over here on this side and another one on this side over here, and they were definitely dripping about a drip a second, so it was a pretty heavy leak. And I've never had this happen to me before, and I've never had to do this. And since I do have a 30-gallon aquarium that definitely needs resealed, it's been stored in an outside shed for a couple of years. It was my tank from my childhood. And since this tank is smaller and not as precious to me, I'm going to give it a shot and practice on this one. I don't know if I will ever truly trust it again, but in time we'll see how this holds up. You do want to pay attention to what kind of silicone you choose. Not all of them are aquarium safe, so you definitely want to read on the label to see if you're using the correct products. Just know that this is the type of stuff they have at hardware stores like Lowe's and stuff like that. Make sure you don't buy this. It says on the label, I'll show you on the back of this in very small print, it says don't use. So make sure you get aquarium safe silicone when you're doing this. I am excited to share this process with you and show you the steps that I take to get this resealed. I'm hoping it goes pretty smooth and easy because I do have plans to set this tank back up. And again, that 30-gallon tank of my childhood, I would really like to set up with the gouramis that I had as a child. They were my dad's favorite. So I'm really hoping this works out. So let's get started and I will show you the materials that you need. So let me tell you about the materials I'm going to be using in this project. First up, of course, is going to be the silicone. If you are going to be purchasing this at the hardware store, make sure it states safe for aquariums. This was the only one at Lowe's out of all of the silicone that they had that said safe for aquariums on the label. In fine small print, it's the majority of them states not safe for aquariums. So make sure you're doing your research and you want to purchase something that's safe for your aquariums and it's not going to be toxic. You're going to be using acetone to remove any of the residue that's left after razor blades that are right here. But just make sure with the acetone you're careful because this does melt most plastics. So if you ever do use this, make sure, and it's out of the bottle, make sure you keep it in glass and don't dump it down the sink. Of course, razor blades, that's going to help you remove all of the silicone that you want to take off. This was actually part of my Valentine's Day present. I got this handle so I wouldn't cut my fingers and a new gallon of paint to paint the new fish room. So I'm excited to share that with you in a new video coming up. I have this tool that I used for the bathtub actually that's going to help smooth it out instead of using my finger. I have a little vacuum that I actually hope still works once I put the battery on it to help make the cleanup easier. A scraper, tape to make the lines easier. And then if you are able to find silicone and use one of these nice little contraptions, I do think it would be a lot easier and faster, but when I went shopping, they didn't have anything that would fit this, and since then we have a new fish store that's opened up, and I am able to purchase something so I can use that for the 30-gallon later on. But since I did spend $15 on this, I have multiple packages, and I'll show you the simple equation in just a second to make sure that you buy enough for what your aquarium size is. So those are the tools that I'm going to be using. If anything pops up and I need to grab anything, I will tell you, but I think this is everything I'm going to use. So let's get started. To know how much silicone in milliliters you're going to need, this is actually really easy. All you're going to do is measure in feet all of your seams. So this seam right here is 2 feet. This seam down here at the bottom is 2 feet. These bottom seams are about 10 inches, so I'm gonna say 1 foot. Same with these, so that's 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and over here is 10. And then multiply that by the millimeters of glass, and this is 6, so I have 10 times 6 is 60 milliliters of silicone I'm going to need for this. So I actually overbought, because these little packages over here of silicone, let me grab one, are 80 milliliters. So this is going to be more than enough to do what I need to do for this project. So let me go ahead and get the razor blades out and get this cleaned up, and make sure that you don't get in this actual seam right here, because that's what's holding it together. You just want to take off this silicone that's waterproofing this. I'm not going to get anywhere in that seam right there with this, because I am not going to put this back together. I don't know how to do that. So let's go ahead and get this started. On this step, I did give it a valiant effort, but unfortunately, I just wasn't able to remove this aquarium lip. I did try for a while and simply just had no luck, and I didn't want to push it and break the glass panels, but I did proceed like normal, and the following steps were done actually quite easily, just very, very time consuming. I went back multiple times scraping and using acetone and cleaning up to inspect the process, and you should do the same if you're choosing to do this. In the meantime, hit that subscribe button so you get all future notifications over this aquarium and much more. I've got this aquarium all taped up, and for the corners, all I'm going to do, since I overlapped them, is take my razor blade, which this is a brand new blade, so it's extra sharp, and I'm going to perfect these corners and then lay the silicone down. So let me show you this. So I got some really great edges and some not so great edges. However, some of the beads were too thick and large in a few spots, but considering this is my first time, I think it looks great. And if it holds water and doesn't leak, that's really all that matters. But in hindsight, I do believe using a caulk gun with silicone is a must for the future. But I'm going to wait at least 48 hours for this to properly cure. So in the meantime, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any upcoming videos and updates over this aquarium and more. Hit that like button, share, don't miss the description box below, and until next time, enjoy!